Hey there, stranger. It's been a minute, hasn't it? Welcome back to the Mirror Project. We're your hosts, Christine,
And Alexandra.
and we're thrilled to have you with us. We've missed you so much, and we're so excited to be back. If you're wondering where we've been, don't worry, we'll fill you in shortly. Back in September, we decided to take a little break to rest, recharge, and realign. But now we're here, ready to dive back into the conversations we all love. So, grab your headphones, settle in, and let's catch up, because it's been way too long. Before we delve into today's riveting topic, make sure to hit that subscribe or follow button on your preferred listening platform. Take a moment to do it now before it slips your mind. Trust us, we're not getting started without you. Let's make this journey together. All right, everybody. It's been so long. Alexandra, can you believe it? Somehow it's now 2025.
I know, right? And we're already a little ways into 2025. Though I think I still am saying 2024 at times.
Yes, I've definitely caught myself saying it, writing it. It's just the way it goes. When the new year begins, I'm like, I never know where I am or what time it is. But let's just sort of start off this episode by filling everybody in on like what we've been up to, why we decided to take a little hiatus from the podcast.
Okay, I can lead us into that. So, back in the fall, we were both really busy, and I was finishing up my last term as my MBA. As
Woo!
woot woot, as I'm sure we talked about on the podcast previously last year, that I was in my last calendar year of that program. And part of this decision we were set up to take a little bit of a break anyways, and it just turned into a pause on the program because I didn't want it to become one more thing that we just had to check off the list of things to accomplish that week, because this is a project that means so much to the both of us. It's really about heart, connection, and deep, meaningful conversations that bring it to life, which at the point that we both were, wouldn't have been what we were giving to you guys. Everything that was happening, we realized that pushing forward as planned might take away from what makes this so magical and so meaningful. By taking a longer break and having that proceed after the scheduled break, we gave ourselves time to recharge, finish up our current projects that were consuming so much time, and get ready for 2025, and particularly what we wanted to do with this podcast and bring ourselves back to the shared passion, fully rejuvenated. So here's a glimpse of what's been going on. So Christine, what was going on with you in the fall?
Yeah, mostly I wasn't as busy. I wasn't as busy as you, my dear. But I was with you in spirit the whole way through, cheering you on from the sidelines. But
She really
mostly what
was. She was my emotional support human throughout the whole fall. So thank you so much.
always, I got you, boo. But gosh, I guess the main thing that was I was focused on while we were on our little break was my job. I started a new job just over a year ago, and throughout the year it's had quite the evolution of what my duties and responsibilities have come to be, and it's become a full-time job, which is amazing, and I'm doing so many wonderful things. I'm doing another podcast. I'm diving into video editing, and I'm doing a YouTube channel for the business. I'm in charge of all of the marketing and social media and all of that jazz. So I've been learning a lot, doing a lot, and it really worked out well that we ended up doing a break from this creative project, because it allowed me to dive into that one more and learn new skills and develop skills I already had that hopefully, when most likely, will benefit this project. So yeah, that's basically what my whole deal's been.
I think there was something else really special about fall.
Was there?
Fall, early winter.
Oh, my birthday?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. I turned 30 this past year, everybody.
And she
Yeah.
did a whole party for it, an amazing
I
theme.
did. I did. I wanted to go all out. Usually, when it comes to, I love to plan a party, but I don't like being the center of attention. But I said, you know what? Fuck it. It's my 30th birthday. I want to go like all out for it. And so I came up with a really cute theme that's very on brand for me called Teeny Bit Older because I love a martini and I'm a teeny bit older. And for those, the OG listeners now, one of my many, not many, one of my nicknames, family nicknames is Teeny. So it all worked out. But yeah, that I guess is the really big update since we've all checked in with one another. And not only did I turn 30, Alex came up to visit me for a
Sounds a
little
lot of fun.
celebratory birthday celebrating. And then I went down to visit her just after Christmas and we spent the new year together.
It almost felt
Yeah,
like we were back in college living in the same state. I
I
was like, oh my gosh,
know.
I've seen Christine in person so much, not just on
I
the screen.
exactly 2 times in 1 month. Who
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 are
are
we?
we? But it was so much fun and it was such a great way to close out the year and start a new
Mhm.
decade all at once. I'm so excited to be 30, everyone. Was so ready to leave my 20s. 20s were a rough time at moments, so I'm very excited for my 30s. All right, Alex, give everybody the update.
I think I think most of it really was just the MBA. I think I called Christine in a panic. It must have been after we'd recorded our last episode for September, and I was just like, I can't do this. I am so overwhelmed and so just couldn't even keep my head above water. And I think part of what it was just I was taking some two very heavy classes.
Yeah.
I was taking my last elective for the program and my last course. That elective was also my last course for my certificate, as well as the capstone course of the MBA program. I don't think I've ever taken an elective course that was so much work, guys. There were three group projects. Three. I'm sorry. There were three papers, big papers, plus weekly discussion boards, plus your weekly quizzes, plus all your reading. And two of those papers happened to be group projects with the same group. And all three of those timelines for all projects were running concurrently. On top of the consulting class with an actual client, which is also what we did for one of our projects in marketing. At one point, I was meeting all 5 days after work. I was so done. And so by the time like we came to recording this, I was like, I'm so tapped out. My brain was like a little fried. And I'm like,
Mm.
marketing, brand management, and capstone, and like clients who didn't know what they wanted, but they thought they knew what they wanted. It was a lot. There was a
It
lot of
was
the
a lot.
semester I was like, how am I going to get through this? I'm just never going to finish. I'm not going to, what's going to happen? I can't do this. Why is it this way? What's happening? And then work was also busy. We had a lot of data stuff and coming up that I help manage, and then trying to do a lot of curriculum stuff that I help out with my job. So it was just an all around a lot. I really crawled under a rock to just finish my work. I put my head down and basically tuned out quite a lot. So really wasn't active a
Yeah.
whole lot. I did commit to calling Christine weekly, and we did end up playing phone tag quite a lot because, as I'm sure we've mentioned, I'm very much a morning person and Christine is very much a night person, and all my classes and meetings were at night. So by the time they were over, I'm like,
Good
goodbye
night.
world. Good night world. um, but there was a few friends that did make a point to catch up with like once a month, and that was really helpful. And so then I graduated in December, finished,
I watched you
and
walk across the stage from New Jersey.
which a fun fact about that. I think Christine has potentially nefarious intentions of putting that on our social media. But my hood color
Maybe.
is actually the wrong color for my degree. When I'd ordered my hood, I had ordered the correct degree program, but they sent me the wrong color. So it looks like I graduated from a master's of education or religious education. I actually had an MBA. So I ended up getting the right color hood because I wanted to do something with it after
Sure.
I want to frame it and whatnot. But I had to go get the correct color hood because like my invoice said the correct color. But funny back when I
Yeah.
looked back at my email, the picture was wrong, but the name was correct. So it's a
That's
brown
so
color for
weird.
business programs all across the country. And the color is called drab.
Because why?
I don't
So,
know.
oh
It's
Lord.
kind of like a brown taupe
Yeah.
drab color. It was like, this is lovely
Certainly
for
drab.
business. I like this. So I went up to see Christine for as a combination celebration of graduation and early birth. Well, still after your birthday,
It
but
was after. Yeah.
early. pre-birthday party
Hmm.
celebration. And we went into New York City, so that was fun to go back. And
Yeah. I don't
we
remember the last time I was in the city before we went. So it was great.
I know the last time I was went was with you. I think we went for, was it the Van Gogh, or did we also go in for something else after that?
Klimt. I think we went to a
Oh, that's
similar, but it was for
right.
Klimt. Yeah.
What
Hmm.
else did we do that day? We did Klimt and something else.
Oh, Sleep No More.
Yeah.
That was really
Yeah.
fun. It was like an immersive theater experience. It was interesting. I don't think it was a fan. Alex was a fan.
No, not particularly. I think I was in the middle of either like being scared shitless or wanting to punch somebody. I don't know if anyone's ever done it, but you're in masks. It's
Yeah.
dark. It took me a while to remember that it was about Hamlet.
Was it? I don't even think I knew that.
Yeah.
Quick little tangent for those listening, wondering what the hell we're talking about. So, this was I don't think it's on a thing you can see anymore, but it was a production in New York called Sleep No More. And it was an immersive theater experience inside of a building that,
7-story building, I think.
yes, that there were things happening on multiple levels in the building. And you, as a attendee of the experience, could go wherever you want, and basically you could lock on one specific performer and follow them and see what they're up to, like what is driving their character forward, or you can just explore the different rooms and see what happens, what might show up. But you are wearing a mask the whole time, and I'm slightly claustrophobic, so you start sweating, you're going up and down and through different levels. At one point, Alex and I got separated, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Think we met back
so
at the bar and I was like,
we're
need a
done.
hot moment. This was also, guys, at the time, COVID was mostly done, but you still had to
Yeah,
wear masks in public places. So
yeah,
we had masks covering our mouth and then we had a top face mask.
yeah,
Most of the place was also really dark.
yeah. I was really worried I would fall. And because when we got separated, it was like you were in a maze. And I was like, I don't know how to get back, because there's people there to help you if you need, you have a medical emergency or whatever. But for the most part, you're not supposed to touch, interact with the performers. But also,
We could
like,
interact with the sets.
we could. Yes, we could open things up. We could flip through things. It was just, it was an interesting concept, but I don't
Yeah.
know if it's was
Was
for
there
me.
dialogue? I can't remember.
Not really.
So it was almost like
There
a
was some,
silent film too that you're
yeah,
interacting with.
yeah. And I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't know the major story because things are happening at different times. And also, there were so many
Yeah.
people, and like a character would run, and then everybody would start
The whole
running
bunch of
to
people would
follow that
run.
person. I'm like, I'm not running.
I looked at Christy and I went, no.
No. But you could, whenever you want, go back to, basically there was like a speakeasy where you could have food and drink, and there was performers there. So we went back there and just finished the rest of our experience there. And
They
yeah.
did have I think, a jazz singer at the bar, so that was nice.
But that was our last visit when Alex was in town. This time around, we did something different.
Yes, we did. I'm sure we definitely talked about it on our Worlds in Words episode. I can't remember when we filmed that, but we both love to read. We are also both lovers of the fantasy romance genre, and there is a bookstore in Brooklyn that is dedicated entirely to the romance genre. So we went out to the Rift Bodice, and I think we spent 2 hours there minimum. I think we spent
Easily.
2 hours,
Yeah.
and it was a beautiful rainy day. Not too rainy. So we did get to go to Bryant Park and walk around. We did a lot of Christmas shopping. And then
Yeah.
for Christine's 30th birthday, I wanted to do something special and different, something that was more consumable and not just something that she would have to stick on a shelf somewhere. So I ordered some cookie art from a creator in New York City. And She did a wonderful job, but it was an adventure to pick up the cookie. It was a kind of a crazy time, the holidays. It was just weird. And so at some point we did get a taxi over to where we picked him up. And
Yeah.
Christine asked me, "Are we staying in the city?" And I went, "No." So we ended up, the cookies weren't ready. So we ended up going to dinner, and the artist was very sweet and had them delivered to where we were having dinner because we had to head back. But they were all around her birthday theme, a teeny bit older,
Yeah.
the Dirty 30. So they had some beautiful cookies in there. So that was a really fun adventure day. And then she also took me all around her town, which, funny enough, the last few times I visited, never really got to see much of Montclair. So that was
Yeah.
really fun to walk around the city and just get to spend time with each other that wasn't centered around the podcast, and like also just to be with your
Yeah.
friend.
Exactly. Celebrate your accomplishment of graduating from your program. Yeah, we did a lot of wonderful things with the short time we had that weekend, but then we knew we were seeing each other in just a few short weeks when I actually drove down, did a little road trip for myself down to visit you in North Carolina, and we spent the new year together, and it was great to see your mom, and we went down to Charlotte for New Year's Eve, and that was a lot of fun. It was like the perfect amount of activity. We were
Mm-hmm.
home to watch the ball drop, but we went out and had a great meal. Gosh, that I still dream about that meal because it was a
Good sushi.
steal. It was good sushi for so cheap. It was great.
And I was saying to
um,
Christine and some friends we were with and my sister that I was like, I don't think I've stayed up for the ball drop in quite a few years. So it was
I
fun.
know. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got to meet your sister's puppy.
Oh,
She's
yes.
adorable. And it was so funny. We were getting ready to toast and we were all ready, counting down. And she wanted to be a part of the moment, but my arm was out and she was jumping up onto the couch. And literally, I felt like slow motion. She hit my arm and the shot went flying. And I was like, okay,
Start
Happy
of
New Year.
2025.
I wish we caught that on camera because that was crazy. Actually, we might have because doesn't she have a camera set up in her apartment
Oh, yeah, we should
on the
ask her.
bar?
We
Oh my
should
gosh,
ask her,
we totally
yeah.
should.
Hey, do you have film of that? Oh, yeah. That was quite fun. That was a
That
good
was
time.
fun. Yeah. And so that brings us to today. Craving more of our company? Join the fun over on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Mirror Project Pod. Dive deeper into our world and engage with us on a whole new level. Don't miss out on the excitement.
Christine, do you want to talk about our goals for the Mirror Project for 2025? Now that we're back and in full swing?
Yeah, so we're both so happy to be back. We're ready to go all in. We're going to be back to doing our weekly episode drops. I know I'm really excited for that. And just like last year, we've planned out a few short breaks, but you can always count on us to be back with fresh content pretty regularly for you all. And for me in particular, one of my main goals for this year for the podcast is video content. I want this will be the first episode that is over on YouTube where you can watch us. And we're going to be doing that more and more. And my goal is to also go back and do our earlier episodes and provide video for that as well. So more on that.
And we'll
But
keep you aware. We'll keep everyone aware of when we drop those episodes, when we go back and release
yeah,
the video
yeah,
content. Be kind to us, guys, because we had not really intended for those to be totally video content. So we're learning as we go. We're
we
learning as we
are.
go. And I think Christine is really working on being a great friend and pushing me outside our comfort zones because, oh, this is going to be so interesting with the videos.
Yeah, we know that it probably will be cringy. We embrace the cringe. Embrace it with us. Live in it. Live in it with us.
She's really making me work on becoming the recovering perfectionist that I am. So the fact that willingly putting ourselves out there,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
got this.
And we'll just be able to look back and see how far we come when we're like way down the
True, so
road.
true. And
But
we also want to film one episode together in person, us sitting
yes,
side by side recording. So that'll be coming up too.
for sure. Not quite sure when that'll happen, but it's definitely a goal for the year.
I do think we have a big thing coming up this year.
Do we now?
Do we? So last year, Christine had reached out and says, like, hey, so it'll be my 30th at the end of the year. I'd love to do a big trip to Europe. Do you want to go? And I was like, absolutely. Of course, I want to go back to Europe. And so we're going to go to Rome,
Hmm.
Venice, and Paris. So we have finally settled on a time of year.
Hmm.
So we're going to go in the fall.
In the fall.
And I think
Yep.
we'd love to do some specific content for you all about that. So
Yeah.
that'll be something
Maybe
fun.
it's some like little vlogs or who knows what we'll do. But yeah, I've always wanted to go to Venice. I've been to Rome before and
Hmm.
some other spots in Italy, but Venice has always been a dream. I've been in love with it since I was a teenager. And Alex has never been to Italy at all. So we're going to start in Rome. We're going to throw a coin over our shoulder at the Trevi Fountain so that she'll be able to come back and experience
See the
all,
Vatican.
see the Vatican, maybe do a couple of other little things, and then we're gonna scoot on up to Venice, stay
Hmm.
there for a few days, and then we're gonna go to Paris. And I've never been to Paris, but
I
you, my
have.
dear, have. So it's cool. It's a fun balance. We're doing these things, but we're also experiencing things that we've done before.
Hmm.
So I'm very excited for that, and I'm really looking forward to what sort of things we come up with to share with you all on our journey.
Yeah. Maybe by that time, we'll certainly be more comfortable being on camera. Another thing that we had talked about for 2025 when we were sitting down to plan out is that we want to revisit some meaningful topics that we started in 2024 and we had noted that we want to come back to. So
Yeah.
these will be conversations like our body health and image that we did last February. We'll probably push that out. We ideally would love to get some guests for that.
Mm-hmm.
So we honestly want to work on what we want to talk about, what we want to revisit, what new thoughts we have to add to that conversation. And we talked, I think there was an episode where we talked about confidence. So that's something to
Mm-hmm.
constantly revisit, and a couple others. And if any of our listeners who are joining us again want us to revisit something, reach out to us and let us know so we can put that in our rotation of episodes.
And to that point, we want to we want to keep growing our reach and our engagement. So this year, we're putting more of ourselves into our social media presence. Our goal is to surpass 100 followers on social media and reach hopefully this reaching over 100 listeners per episode. Whatever the numbers end up being is a big accomplishment, but it's nice to have a benchmark to try and meet and
Mhm.
surpass. So that's definitely a major goal driving us this year.
And Christine has some plans in the work to help us get there. She definitely has been using the knowledge that she's gained from her job and got some ideas for us to do some platform specific content for you all that will release out throughout the year. Mostly, we want to be consistent and show up for
Yes.
you all.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads us into another aspect of Reach, and that's building support and sponsorships. We would like to work on securing some sponsorships and gaining listeners' support through some of our memberships, which we might actually end up doing special content for on this project. That mostly we can continue to do this project that we love and produce content. So,
Yeah,
if anyone
exactly.
is interested, knows of anything, again has ideas, please reach out to us. We would love to hear them.
Absolutely. We're excited for whatever may come our way this year. And I think the last thing we'll talk about in terms of goals for 2025 is continuing to deepen our conversations. Last year taught us so much about podcasting and ourselves. So moving forward, we're committed to being more vulnerable and diving even deeper into topics that matter the most to us, to you, and we're just really excited to go even further. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And part of why we're telling everyone is to also hold ourselves accountable to these goals that we set for this project and being
Yes.
like, yes, we said it, we're going to do it. So let's get it done. And I think it's going to be really interesting. As Christine mentioned with us trying the video content, I think we're going to be able to look back, started 2025, even when we started in 2024, and look at like how far we have come and what
Yeah.
we've learned, how we've improved, at least hopefully have improved.
Yes.
and definitely be more comfortable. So hopefully you'll see more of our faces on social media and here. And please support us by listening both on where you listen to your podcast, but also go check us out on YouTube. Get to see the faces that you hear in your ears. That sounded wrong. Get to hear the voices attached to the faces that you hear in your ear. I don't know if that made it any better.
It's okay. We'll go with it.
I definitely think we'll be releasing some definitely blooper reels of funny moments where we've messed up, when things don't come out quite so polished.
No.
And with that said, that's really a wrap on today's episode. We are so grateful to have you back with us as we kick off this next chapter and next season of the podcast. It's been quite a journey, and we can't wait to bring you along for everything we have planned for this year. From revisiting those big, meaningful conversations that we started last year, to sharing more and being more vulnerable with you all, and even our European adventure. So who's ready for that? I know I am. So next week, we'll be diving into the idea of New Year, same me, always a work in progress. We'll chat about the pressure to constantly reinvent yourself every January, and why embracing growth at your own pace is probably more rewarding and certainly enough. Sounds like something you're interested in? And how you've been feeling? Join us, and we'll unpack it together. Until then, stay curious, stay connected, and hey, don't be a stranger. Let us know what resonated with you today or what you'd love to hear next. You can find us on social media, where you know you'll definitely be seeing more of us this year, or shoot us a message. We'd love to hear from you. And until next time, have a great week.
Bye, guys. See you soon.
Bye. Are you enjoying the banter and insights we're serving up? If so, consider tossing some support our way through our Buy Us a Coffee page. Every bit helps in fueling this passion project of ours. Find the link in our show notes and visit our Linktree. We are immensely grateful for your generosity. As we wrap up, remember to hit that like, subscribe, or follow button on your preferred platform. Until next time, let's keep the conversations going, and we'll catch you on the next episode.